Hello and welcome to Treasure in Every Verse. I'm your host, author and Bible teacher Kevin Madison. Thank you for joining us today. Okay, friends, we're back, and again, we're going to try to get through the church at Smyrna, and we just stuck right here on this blasphemy of the Jews. And basically, God is saying, hey, those who say they're Jews, but they're not. And listen, why is he saying that? Because they have trying to get to God their own way, instead of the way the Jewish scriptures say that they should come to God. And that's the problem, friends. That's the problem with Judaism today, and that's the problem with false Christianity today. All the others is just false religions. They have a totally different God. But the two that come closest to the scriptures are false Christianity and false Judaism. And look, any kind of Judaism today is a false religion, friend. God actually calls it the synagogue of Satan. Now, before you guys go around calling me anti-Semitic, I worship a Jewish Messiah. The God I serve came in human flesh as a Jew. So if I hate the Jews, then how can I love and serve the one true God in his humanity and his resurrected body? Friend, he is the King of the Jews. He is the son of David. He is the seed of Abraham. That's what he is. So I no more dislike the Jews than I dislike Christians. Then I dislike my own parents, or my own siblings, or my own wife, or children. If my wife isn't saved, then I'm going to tell her, you need Christ, or you're going to go to hell. And no amount of my praying for you, or your church attendance or Bible study is going to change that. Same with my children. Oh, I love them dearly. Would give up my life for them in a heartbeat, friends. As a matter of fact, as far as my wife and my children are concerned, and my grandchildren, I'm already dead. My mind is already made up that I would lay down my life for them. So I don't have to make a choice there. And it's the same with my brothers and sisters in Christ. Whether they're Jew or Gentile, it doesn't matter to me. So, I have nothing against any religion, whether they're Jews, Muslims, false Christianity, whatever you want to call them, friends. But I have absolutely no problem with saying what God said about it. There are Jews out there that's blasphemy, and they're not true Jews. Why? Because they're worshiping Satan. They think they're worshiping God because they're circumcised in their flesh, because they visit a synagogue, because they read scriptures. But listen, even in Moses' day, the Bible makes it clear that they had to circumcise what? Their hearts, man. Had nothing to do with circumcision of their flesh. Let me find it. It's way back in the law of Moses. Moses said it over and over again. He talked to them about circumcising their heart. And the problem was, they didn't want to do that. What did they want to do? They wanted to be religious. And back in Moses' day, their religion was going to another god. But back in the days that in Deuteronomy, after a while, the problem wasn't that. The problem was they became religious. They started using the law as their religion instead of looking at the sacrifices, understanding that they couldn't keep the law, and that was the reason why God commanded them to do something. All right, now watch this, folks. Listen to God talk to the Jews. And this has always been their problem. So you see, this isn't some new doctrine. This is coming straight out of the law that Moses gave to them. Listen to this. And now Israel. So who's God talking to? Israel's made up of Jews, right? Now you can call them all Israelites, but today they're all Jews, friends. What does the Lord your God require of you? But to fear the Lord your God. How in the world do you fear God? By coming to God the exact same way God commanded you to come to him. How? Bring a sacrifice. That's what he told them. Bring a sacrifice. And then if you bring the sacrifice, then your works, your obedience to the statutes and ordinances and feasts, hey, that's just icing on the cake. To walk in all his ways and to love him. To serve the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and to keep the commandments. Notice what comes first. Do you notice what comes first? To love your God and to then keep. You got to love him first, then keep it. Because nobody who don't love God is going to keep God's commandments. And his statutes, which I command you today for your good. Is the commandments and the statutes for God? No. The commandments and the statutes are for men. Is it for God's good? No. The commandments of you not hurting somebody through murder or lying to them or lying on them, bearing false witness, dishonoring your parents, has nothing to do with God. That's to keep us from killing each other. Indeed, heaven and the highest heavens belong to the Lord. Heaven, two different places, and the highest heavens, which is the third heaven, they all belong to God. Also the earth. So what belongs to God? God just defined for us the world. The world is made up of one, the heaven. Two, the heavens. Three, the earth. God just gave us the whole world. That is right there. That's the totality of God's creation. He continues with all that is in it. The Lord delighted only in your fathers. The Lord delighted only in your fathers to love them. Now, did he mean that he don't delight in any of these other folks? No, what he's saying is, I chose the nation of Israel. He's talking about a nation. He's not talking about the individuals. He's talking about a nation. Remember what Amos said. You only have I known of all the nations of the world. So is he talking about Abraham, Isaac? No, he's talking here about the nation. And he chose their descendants after them. There you have it. That's the nation. You above all peoples, as it is this day. So what made them unique? God's presence and God's laws. He gave them the prescribed way to approach him. Did he give it to anybody else before that? Of course he did. You say, what? Yeah, man, the sacrifice has been going on since Adam. Adam was going around teaching sacrifices too. He taught it to Abel. How do we know? Go read the account of Cain and Abel. What do you think Abel learned? To bring a lamb. And what kind of lamb? Cain did the same thing until he turned, just like the Jews did. Turned from the lamb to his own works. So what did Israel do? Turn from the lamb sacrificing that they did every single day, twice a day, to doing what? Trying to keep commandments and statutes. So you see, it's the same process, friends. It starts off good, and then people go astray, and they get into this behavior mess, and they just turn the grace of God into wickedness. All right. Now, here's what I want to show you. God says, hey, look, I did this, I did that. Notice they didn't do anything. God says, I was doing all these things. Now watch. Therefore, go circumcise the male sex organ. No, friend, that's not going to do you any good. Who cares if you get circumcised the 8th day? Is that going to get you forgiveness of sins? Of course not. Nobody get forgiveness of sins because of some outward circumcision. Gentiles are being circumcised today. Are they saved too because of that? The foreskin of what? Your heart. Now stop. Let me ask you a question. What is God talking about? Do you know? Do you understand what God just said right here? What is he saying, folks? He's saying that you have to get a heart transplant. So what's the definition in the Bible of heart? What is that? How does the Bible define that? The Bible defines the heart as the human spirit. So what is God saying has to happen to you? Your human spirit has to be circumcised. You say, what? Yes. Watch this. God says, I'm the one who does the circumcision. It's done without hands. So I'm going to show you exactly what God is talking about. All right. Now, let's go look in a couple of other places before I show you exactly what he's talking about. Now, watch what he says over here in Romans chapter 2. Listen to God very closely.